Recognize him. He's your best customer, Mr. Average Motorist. Behind the wheel of his car, he may feel like a king. He is proud of its smooth operation. He likes to feel the surge of power when his foot presses the throttle. He never goes through a red light. He's always courteous to pedestrians. And when it comes to motor mechanics, he really doesn't know very much about what makes his car go. However, when his gasoline gauge says empty, he knows enough to turn in at the next service station. Now, our average motorist knows something about gasoline. He knows that the gasoline he buys should give him good mileage and a quiet-running motor. And he knows they put lead in gasoline, but doesn't realize that sometimes this special kind of lead, tetraethyl lead, or as we call it, TEL, requires a special kind of handling. No, these men aren't invaders from Mars. They're handling TEL in a Caltex refinery. Though our average motorist doesn't know what makes the gasoline good, he's aware of some of the many qualities that make Caltex gasolines give the best performance. Caltex gasoline will start in any weather. It will warm up fast to give full power quickly. Caltex gasoline gives good power and economy. Rapid acceleration, and it won't vapor lock. This happens when gasoline changes into vapor prime. Then, gasoline stops flowing to the engine. Caltex gasoline won't cause crankcase dilution, doesn't form gum, and won't knock research and refining skills. Mr. Average Motorist wouldn't have much use for petroleum as it comes from the ground. It's called crude oil, then, because it needs a lot of working over before it can be used. That's a beaker of crude oil on the left. On the right is some Caltex gasoline before special coloring is added. There's a world of difference between this crude and clear Caltex refined gasoline. Burning the crude results in this oily smoke that's sudden death for any engine. But Caltex gasoline ignites instantly and burns clean. From research on engines, Caltex knows the qualities that make an outstanding gasoline. By selective refining and by adding special chemicals, Caltex builds all these qualities into its gasoline. This gasoline is a long way from the crude oil used to make it. Since our average motorist is concerned with mileage and costs, he's eager to learn about the gasoline that will give him economy and performance. And to understand how Caltex gets from this to this, he has to take it step by step. If we took some crude oil and put it under a magnifying glass that would show us what it's really made of, we would see some things like this. They are really so small that millions of them could fit comfortably on the head of a pin. If we break the oil apart even more, we see that it's made up of two different kinds of atoms, hydrogen atoms and carbon atoms. When the hydrogen and carbon are joined together, as they are in petroleum, they're called hydrocarbons. Crude oil is made up of hydrocarbons of thousands of different sizes and shapes. Just to make it easier to follow them, let's change the hydrocarbons into these characters. Some hydrocarbons are light and small. Others are big and heavy. The hydrocarbons that make up gasoline range from very small to medium. But gasoline's largest hydrocarbon is small compared to the ones that make up lube oil and so forth. The different sized hydrocarbons add different qualities to gasoline. And even hydrocarbons of the same size can have different personalities. Those long, sad-looking characters create harmful and irritating engine knock when they explode violently. We'll call them knockers. These husky, cheerful chaps are the hard-working gasoline molecules found in each drop of Caltex gasoline. They're your friends. They don't knock. They burn evenly and pull their weight in an engine without knocking about it. Our refining job is to pick out the right type of hydrocarbons, the ones who don't knock. With the latest refining techniques, Caltex first separates the big ones from the smaller. Let's go back to the crude oil and see how we do it. The crude oil is heated, and first, the small hydrocarbons, light ends, come off. Next, the middleweight hydrocarbons, and then the larger ones, the heavy ends of gasoline, come off. After gasoline's heaviest ends boil off, the rest of the hydrocarbons in the crude oil remain. All of these are too big for gasoline without further processing. Actually, we heat the crude oil in giant stills. In this way, we separate the crude oil into its various parts by size. One of the parts is straight-run gasoline. But we hit two problems here. There isn't enough of this straight-run gasoline, and it has too many knockers in it. Perhaps you've noticed that the percentage of gasoline is small compared with other products. Here's how Caltex licks these two problems. To increase the percentage of gasoline, some of the hydrocarbons that are too large are made into little ones. This is called cracking. These smaller molecules are high in anti-knock quality. Caltex also takes very little hydrocarbons and makes them into gasoline-sized hydrocarbons. This is called polymerization. Again, this process creates anti-knock molecules. The next problem is how to get rid of those bad actors, the explosive knockers that have not been treated. Reforming them is the next step towards the production of a fine gasoline. One way to change these undesirable characters is by putting them through reformers. By changing their structure, they're converted from knockers to hard-working anti-knock molecules. This and other processes help to improve Caltex quality. But if we tried to reform all of the knockers this way, it would make the gasoline cost too much. Fortunately, there is another way of controlling sad characters. We treat them with tetraethyl lead, which immediately reacts on these violently exploding knockers. With correct dosage, they may become even-burning, power-producing molecules. Now, having the size and character of the hydrocarbons under control, our next problem is to blend these various hydrocarbon sizes to give us a balanced gasoline. For good starting in any weather, Caltex blends in the proper amount of light ends. They vaporize instantly to afford quick starting at low temperatures. Looking through our magnifying glass, we see that the light molecules fly around and mix with air, while the heavy molecules don't vaporize so quickly. The light molecules are alert and ready to start burning the instant the spark comes. For a fast warm-up, Caltex adds the right balance of middle weights, which vaporize easily. When the light molecules burn, the middle weights wake up in a hurry and give off lots of heat. This warms an engine up fast. Then the heavy molecules light up and join the power team. For rapid acceleration, the proper blend of light and middleweight molecules provide vaporization, fast burning, quick power. For maximum power and economy, we add enough heavy molecules to give the long push that makes for mileage. To avoid vapor lock, Caltex blends in only the proper amount of light molecules. The magnifying glass shows that when some gasolines get warm, the light molecules may get too light-footed and boil, forming gasoline vapor bubbles. This vapor fills up the fuel pump. Since the pump is designed for liquid, it does not work well on vapor. The flow of gasoline to the engine is cut off. The balanced blend of Caltex gasoline prevents vapor lock. To eliminate crankcase dilution, heavy molecules must not be too heavy. If they're too big and heavy, they may be too slow to wake up when the engine is warming up, and they may condense on the cylinder walls and drain into the crankcase. Incompletely refined gasoline produces harmful engine gum, the stuff which makes valves and carburetor parts stick. Let's see what causes gum. As the gasoline hydrocarbons come out of the spill, even some of the best molecules have a weakness. They have a weakness for oxygen. If they take oxygen, they get gummy. Before these weak hydrocarbons develop the oxygen habit, while they're still fresh, we give them a shot of a special chemical. This chemical makes them dislike oxygen, as every good, strong hydrocarbon should, and they do not form gum. To avoid knock, first let's see what knock really is. The spark ignites hydrocarbons nearest it. As they burn, heat and pressure get higher all over the combustion chamber. The hydrocarbons down in the corners get very hot. Then the explosive knockers lose control and ignite before their turn. This causes knock. Of course, this whole process happens very, very fast. Knock is not only irritating to Mr. Average Motorist, but it steals power and causes extra wear and tear. It interrupts the smooth power stroke. It hammers on the piston and puts a sudden shattering strain on connecting rods and bearings. To control knock, Caltex keeps as many knockers out as possible through latest refining techniques. Then we add a small amount of TEL. This not only controls the few knockers who are left, it also makes the good hydrocarbons even better. The result is maximum power, smooth, even burning. Its owners need the performance of Caltex, and even that isn't the whole story. Values. Extra value and quicker starting and faster warm-up, in addition to higher anti-knock. More customers are finding out from actual performance this. Caltex premium gasoline is made from specially selected base stocks containing more powerful, efficient cracked hydrocarbons and gasolines that have been reformed to provide the maximum number of premium hydrocarbons. Lastly, by adding a little tetraethyl lead to all the best hydrocarbons, Caltex increases the performance and anti-knock qualities of Caltex Premium even more. Sure, these extra operations cost money, but the additional superpower hydrocarbon better gasoline than power-packed Caltex Premium gasoline. Yes, the quality of a gasoline depends on refining skill and know-how. With this knowledge, Caltex builds all the essential qualities into its gasolines. Over the highways and avenues, wherever you go, these trucks carry uniform, top-quality gasoline fit for a king to Mr. Average Motorist. He buys the best for his car at the sign of the Caltex star.